I'll never lose to another white boy. Two-time middleweight.
There's a special kind of arrogance in combat sports that separates the confident from the downright delusional. Confidence? That's what gets you respect, makes the crowd cheer, and earns you a spot in history. Arrogance? That's what makes the audience root for your downfall, and oh, when it comes, it's glorious. Mike Tyson said it best. Everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. And some of these clowns? They walked into the ring with all the swagger in the world, only to leave with a black eye, a bruised ego, and enough regret to last a lifetime. Today, we're diving into the most satisfying cases of instant karma ever delivered inside the ring. Let's start with the Brandon Lambert at Knucklemania 2021. This guy thought he was auditioning for a reality show instead of stepping into a fight. Lambert spent the entire bout against Gerard Grant taunting, showboating, and throwing hands like he was shadowboxing at a gym.
Clowning right now, Lambert pointing to the center of the ring.
Well, just yelling and screaming right there. He's wasting energy, and you're going to need...
Lambert landed fewer than 10 significant strikes, basically a warm-up for Grant, before getting absolutely folded in the third round. Grant unleashed a combination so brutal, it was like karma grabbed the gloves and said, "Let me handle this." Lambert hit the canvas, and for those of us watching, it was poetic justice.
From Gerard Grant, the finger wag again from Lambert. Lambert pulls back the left hand, triple jab from Grant. Huge right hand, and down goes Brandon Lambert. That is it, the win. Now 3-0 goes Gerard Grant.
The lesson? If you spend more time running your mouth than training, the only thing you'll knock out is your own career. Speaking of delusions, let's not forget Ryan Garcia and his pre-fight antics against Gervonta Davis. Garcia talked so much trash, it's a wonder he didn't sprain his jaw. He called Davis basic and confidently declared he'd knock him out in 2 rounds.
He's a small man, so he looks frail to me. I see a half a fire.
His little legs, his little core, his little head. I'm gonna knock him out inside 4 rounds.
2 rounds. Garcia walked in like he was the second coming of Muhammad Ali, but by round 2, it was clear who the real king of the ring was. Davis landed a left hook so clean, it sent Garcia to the canvas in a delayed reaction knockout. Imagine talking all that smack only to fold like a deck chair in front of thousands. Garcia learned the hard way. Arrogance gets you headlines, but skill wins fights. Maybe next time he'll keep his predictions to himself, or at least wait until he can back them up.
Another left hook and a right. And now, Garcia forced it.
And how could we skip over the Trevor Berbick? Berbick came into his fight with Tyson full of bravado, declaring he'd expose the young champion as a fraud. Fast forward to the second round, and Berbick was doing his best impression of a cartoon character slipping on a banana peel.
In the end.
This gonna be a fight. Tyson, and you know it. You hit me, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you.
Tyson dropped him with a punch so powerful, Berbick tried to get up twice, only to stumble back to the canvas like his legs were made of spaghetti. It wasn't just a knockout. It was a humiliation. Berbick went from a world champion to a cautionary tale in less than 6 minutes. He said he'd expose Tyson, and he did, by showing the world just how outmatched he was.
Bad habit of leaning back. Watch the left hook of Mike Tyson land every time Mr. Green moves backwards. So he's able to throw quicker shots.
Conor McGregor is the undisputed king of trash talk, a verbal Picasso who paints the world with insults and arrogance. But here's the thing about boxing. It doesn't care about your witty one-liners or your inflated ego. Leading up to his mega fight with Floyd Mayweather, McGregor was in full form, calling Mayweather old and ridiculing his flawless 49-0 record as a fake. Come fight night, it was clear who the real master was. Mayweather, a man who's forgotten more about boxing than McGregor will ever know, executed a flawless strategy. He let McGregor punch himself into exhaustion, watching him flail around like a drunk uncle at a wedding. In the stats department, McGregor's 26% punch accuracy was laughable compared to Mayweather's surgical 53%. By the 10th round, MC Gregor looked like he'd run a marathon while carrying his ego on his back. And Mayweather? He finished him off with a TKO so effortless it felt more like a boxing seminar than a fight.
Fading, coming on here in round 9, another right again! Floyd Mayweather has McGregor on the road, still standing!
That's it.
Indy.
McGregor's mouth had written a check his fists couldn't cash, leaving him eating his words and reminding us all that hype doesn't equal skill. You can sell tickets with trash talk, but belts? Those are earned.
Money Mayweather.
If McGregor's antics were a comedy, Alex Walters' outperformance was pure slapstick. At the weigh-in for his fight against Andrei Mikhailovich, Walters decided to turn the event into a low-budget action movie. He pointed an imaginary gun at his opponent, as if they were starring in some kind of combat sports edition of Call of Duty.
Walters held the promise of explosive action, with Alex ending the weigh-in by gesturing a...
Okay? You know all the rules? Touch gloves and let's get it on, boy.
It was cringeworthy at best and downright idiotic at worst. The real show, however, began in the ring. Walters landed a grand total of 0 significant punches after the first minute. Yes, 0. While Mikhailovich treated him like a piñata at a particularly aggressive birthday party. By the second round, the referee had to step in and call it. A TKO for Mikhailovich and a career-defining humiliation for Walters. Let this be a lesson. If you bring fake weapons to a real fight, the only thing you're going to be shooting is your dignity, straight into the trash.
That's hooks.
Good hook there from Mikhailovich, and down goes Annan. Mikhailovich misses with his right hand and works, and there's the hook again, and he goes again. Oh, the second knockdown in this second round. 35 seconds to finish.
Now let's roast Shannon Briggs, a man who talked so much trash you'd think he moonlighted as a garbage man. Before his fight with Vitaly Klitschko, Briggs went on a verbal rampage, calling Klitschko soft and claiming he had no knockout power. Big words from a guy who didn't seem to realize he was about to get a front row seat to a masterclass in destruction. Over 12 rounds, Klitschko didn't just beat Briggs, he turned him into a human punching bag. Klitschko landed a jaw-dropping 171 power punches, while Briggs could barely manage 30 clean hits. That's not a fight. That's a public service announcement on why you should never underestimate your opponent.
Klitschko nimmt Maß, trifft immer besser, immer häufig gut. Der linke Haken voll an den Kinnwinkel. Wieder hier rechts. Es könnte sich niemand beschweren.
By the time the beating was over, Briggs wasn't walking out of the ring. He was being carted off to the ER. The damage report read like a horror story. Broken ribs, a ruptured eardrum, and facial fractures that probably made him unrecognizable to his own mirror. Now let's talk about the Artur Szpilka, who must have confused the boxing ring for a dance floor. Facing Deontay Wilder, Szpilka was all about flash, darting around the ring with fancy footwork and head movement as if he were auditioning for a reality dance show. Here's the problem. Boxing isn't about looking good, it's about surviving, especially when your opponent has a 97% knockout rate.
But Biggs moved perfectly and hit Tyson.
From the opening bell, Tyson dismantled Biggs with a mix of body shots and head-snapping punches that left the Olympic champion reeling. By the 7th round, Tyson ended the fight with a left hook so devastating, Biggs must have considered retiring on the spot. The numbers were as ugly as the fight. Tyson landed 181 punches to Biggs' 71. It wasn't a match. It was a lesson in what happens when overconfidence meets raw power. Biggs had called Tyson predictable, but Tyson proved that predictable isn't the same as avoidable.
In his corner would like him to. That was a good left hand.
By round 8, the pro-Tyson crowd were so impressed by Rebalta's increasing success that they began chanting his name. However, it only seemed to fire up his rival as Tyson finally broke through.
Here's the thing about these cocky fighters. They think arrogance is their secret weapon, but all it does is paint a massive target on their backs. Whether it's McGregor's trash talk, Walter's pathetic theatrics, or Briggs's endless stream of empty insults, the result is always the same. Karma comes swinging, and it doesn't miss. These fighters learned the hard way that boxing isn't a stage for your ego. It's a place where skill, strategy, and respect reign supreme.